What up and welcome to Rama Screen YouTube channel, and here's my review of Netflix new documentary series American Manhunt, the Boston Marathon bombing. Let's rock this. I know it has been 10 years now, and this docu arrives to mark the 10th anniversary of that tragedy, but man, I remember hearing the news of that bombing like it was yesterday. I remember exactly where I was that day. You see, at the time, I was heavy into doing marathons, believe it or not. I was not an elite marathoner. I did not run marathons to win them. I ran marathons for health and vanity so I could get six pack abs. I ran the LA Marathon, by the way, full marathon, not half full, 26.2 miles. I also ran the New York City Marathon in 2013. I even ran the Las Vegas Marathon, which was fascinating because there were a lot of Elvis impersonators running those 26.2 miles as well. But here's what's special about the Boston Marathon. It's very selective. You would have to have finished a prior marathon under 3 hours in order to qualify for Boston. And I was always the slow one, finishing at average of 4.5 hours, 5 hours at most. Thus, I could never make it to Boston. But yeah, I was knee deep in that sport back then. So when the bombing happened, it was a total shock to us in the marathon community. I was watching it live on TV. I mean, really, of all the events that terrorists could attack us, marathons are not even a political event. Marathons are not a campaign gathering either. And of course, the victims, both dead and injured, made that day just all the more devastating. So, over the past 10 years, I have come to learn in great details everything there was to know about this tragedy and its aftermath. Therefore, what is chronicled in this documentary doesn't really offer new insights to me, but American Manhunt is still a very well put together documentary for reasons that I will explain to you further in a minute. But this whole thing basically serves one purpose and one purpose only, and that is it's a never forget commemoration. And sometimes a never forget commemoration documentary like this is important to remind us of not just the heroes and the villains, but also of how far that we Americans have risen from those ashes and will continue to do so. Directed by Floyd Russ in American Manhunt, the Boston Marathon bombing, when two homegrown terrorists bombed the marathon's finish line in 2013, the biggest party of the year exploded into carnage. And as law enforcement launched an unprecedented investigation into the bombers' identities, their pursuit spilled over into the streets of formerly quiet neighborhoods, paralyzing the city and gripping our post 9/11 world. Back in 2016, I attended the press junket for the film Patriots Day, which was a narrative dramatization of this tragedy. There at the press junket, not only did I get to meet Mark Wahlberg and John Goodman, but I also got to meet many of the talking heads featured in this docu, including Police Commissioner Ed Davis. I think ultimately what makes this documentary riveting is that it focuses solely on the chase. Initially, I thought that maybe out of the 3 episodes, we might perhaps get an episode about the courtroom trial or maybe even the Rolling Stone magazine controversy. Remember that one? But nope, all 3 episodes are just about the chase, the hunt, the pins and needles moments, and the music and the tone remain the same throughout. Chilling, intense, and gripping, and it almost never loses its momentum. The tension runs high almost the entire time. Another thing that I think stands out, and they mention this at the beginning of every episode, in that some of the CCTV footage are reenactments or recreations, and boy, those recreations are effective in filling the blanks and compounding the suspense. By the way, I also give credit to director Floyd Russ for making sure that this documentary includes the perspectives from journalists and from the Muslim community. So if you think that this documentary is some kind of American exceptionalism propaganda, you'd be surprised to find that it's actually a lot more nuanced than that. There's an opinion pushing back against the police willy nilly opening fire in residential areas like it's the Wild Wild West. There's an opinion from those targeted by Islamophobia. I mean, yes, at the end, after Jokar got arrested, it's all Boston strong, USA, 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 America, togetherness. But leading up to that, America's reaction to the bombing comes in various forms, some of which are ugly. And so, kudos to this documentary for highlighting the danger of those ugly rhetorics. So, yeah, overall, I give American Manhunt, the Boston Marathon bombing, the rating of 4 out of 5 for being a must-see, top-notch, excellent documentary series. So that's it. That's my review of American Manhunt, the Boston Marathon bombing. Share this video with everyone you know. Share your thoughts in the comment section below and smash that like button. And as always, subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Let's rock this.